Hey guys, it's Enigma Hood. Today I want to talk about whaling. Now, when I was a kid, my favorite animal was the blue whale because I always loved large animals. There's something about just it being so fucking big. The blue whale is the largest animal to ever exist, and that's including all of the dinosaurs. The largest dinosaur might have been Amphiloceus. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Or Bruhathacasaurus, something like that. And they can kind of approach the mass of a blue whale, but they are not as massive. The largest animal to ever exist, and we're pretty positive about that. We're not gonna dig up a new fossil that reveals a larger animal. Maybe in the future there might be, but for now the largest animal to ever exist is definitely the blue whale. And I always loved large animals. And, I never understood how anyone could want to kill such a grand and majestic creature, something so big and magnificent. The history of whaling goes back a long fucking time. In the olden days, these morons would hunt for whales using hand-thrown harpoons and on fucking rowboats. Because they're such jackasses. What they used for whales primarily in those days was their blubber, which was their fat. They would do this thing called flensing, which would be to strip the fat off, and that fat would be used to burn. They would turn that into oil, and it would be used to burn in lamps, and it was used in lighting primarily. The whole whale hunting thing, whaling, came to a head once they developed more advanced technology, and they were able to take and kill larger whales, like the sei whale or the fin whale, and eventually the blue whale. And they went nuts with the whaling, but the whaling started to taper off once petroleum was being used to produce kerosene in lamps for lighting instead of whale blubber. So actually, petroleum saved whale populations. So, give credit where credit is due. Petroleum is good for some things. Today, there are still some fuckers that are actually killing whales. But for what reason? We're not using their blubber anymore. We don't need it. We have oil. And in the future, we're going to have biofuels or bio-oil. We can produce plastics. Anything we want, we can produce it using biofuels and biotechnology. So what are they killing these animals for? For food. There are some sick fucks out there who actually want to kill these animals because they have a taste for whales. How in the fuck do people become so demented? Now, I eat meat. I always say that whenever I'm making an animal rights video. Yes, I do eat meat. But I refuse to eat any animal that is endangered or is even slightly, there's a slight possibility that me consuming them will threaten its population. And blue whales, and actually whales, the vast majority of whales are endangered animals. If we hunt them too much, they're gonna go fucking extinct. There is no way, practically, to produce more whales. Maybe one day in the future we might have cloning vats that we can build on the fucking oceans. That's gonna take a lot of fucking money, and for what? There's not a lot of incentive to do it other than it's the right thing to do. But there is no way to farm for whales. There's no way to breed them. We don't have a way to do it. And it's not cost effective, so nobody's ever gonna invest in something like that. So instead, these fucks, they go out into the ocean and they kill them in the wild. Now, who are the fuckers that are doing this? You have the Norwegians who still hunt for whales because they're fucktards, and then you have the Japanese that still hunt for whales because they're fucktards. Now, there was a moratorium on whaling that forbid international whaling of any kind. So what the Japanese fuckers did was they decided to circumvent this treaty by under the auspices of scientific whaling. They're trying to kill whales. This is their official statement, to understand their migratory paths and understand what they're eating. Are you fucking serious? You're killing a whole fucking animal and your excuse is to know what it's eating, you fucktard? What kind of moron would even buy that bullshit? And then their excuse is, well, then we sell the meat because otherwise it would be wasteful. You know what? That pisses me off so fucking much. And I'm a huge fan of Japanese culture and Japan in general. So for me to come out and say all these things about Japan, you know, that you have to understand that if you're wrong, then you're wrong. I don't care how much I like your Japanese anime or your Japanese video games or your Japanese culture. If you do something fucked up, then it's wrong and you have to be called out on it. Now, Australia, I'm going to give credit to Australia. There have been lots of activists in Australia who have been protesting against these fuckers for all the bullshit they're doing. My question is, where are all the Japanese people that aren't against this? What the fuck is the matter with these Japanese fucks who won't come out and say that this is wrong? This is supposed to be a country that has a large Buddhist following. What the hell does Buddhism teach? It teaches to respect all animals. Respect all life, actually. And here we have these people who preach these beliefs, but they don't practice it when it comes to killing whales. It's wrong, you fucking assholes. Why is it that the Australians are the ones that are against whaling, but the Japanese people aren't? Instead, they're the ones who... there's a market for consuming whales in this piece of shit country. I'm going to call it a piece of shit country for what they're doing. Yeah, I like Japan. I like what they do. I like their video games and stuff. But if you are fucking doing all this stupid ass shit, I'm going to call you out and say you're a piece of shit country for doing that. You need to get your act together and organize people to protest this kind of thing. And it has to be a strong movement and say to people to stop eating whale meat, because the only reason why they're killing these animals is because there's a market for it. If that market did not exist, if people stopped eating whales, they would stop killing them. So stop it, you fucking assholes. You know, I should do more about this kind of stuff. I know I've been making as many animal rights videos. You know, it's because of priorities. You know, I have to take care of the religious fuckers in this country first and foremost because they're getting on my fucking nerves. But there's some good YouTubers on YouTube that are really pushing this issue. Namely, Freedom for Orcas. She's really good at that, so check out her channel. Also, Zaxtor. He's a big animal rights guy in general, and a few other people as well. So anyway, do the right thing. Always be against whaling. It's wrong. Never, ever eat whale meat, because if you do, you're just condoning this kind of thing, and you're actually creating a market. You're saying to these people, yes, you can make money off of doing unethical things, and that is fucking wrong. You're contributing to the problem. This is Enigma Hood signing off.